Last week, we found out that Blizzard had talked to the WoW Community Council, and they had talked about basically nerfing all of the gear from ICC and Trial of the Crusader. And this was going to have huge implications on how the actual end game of Wrath was going to turn out. The class balance was going to be all out of whack. The idea really was to make end game content harder, so ICC would be harder, but also make it so that Ulduar wasn't irrelevant when Trial of the Crusader came out. Well, Blizzard actually listened to the community and heard our sort of outrage about that, and have actually suggested something that is quite phenomenal in my eyes. So what I'm talking about is Blizzard announced that they are thinking about buffing the item levels in Ulduar and also releasing pre-nerf Ulduar forms. This means that they're looking at buffing Ulduar gear so that the normal eye level gear is buffed by 6 eye levels, so the stats will be even better for all of the normal Ulduar gear, and then all of the hard mode gear will be buffed by even more than that, 12 eye levels. This will make it even stronger than normal Trial of the Crusader gear because your Ulduar hard mode gear is now going to be eye level 251, where TOGC gear is 245. Now, one of the really good draws of this is that they're giving us pre-nerf Ulduar. By the end of Wrath of the Lich King and in the version we are normally going to experience it, Ulduar had been nerfed so many times that it's realistically not ridiculously hard, outside of a couple hard mode fights like Yogg Zero or Firefighter. But now we're going to see an even harder version of this raid where you get rewarded for actually being able to clear the really hard bosses, especially if you're clearing the hard modes. Instead of just getting extra loot or something like that, we're actually getting much better gear if you're clearing the hard modes. So there's now a much bigger incentive where your entire raid is legitimately getting stronger. And Blizzard actually mentioned last week that if we're actually having shared lockouts for normal and heroic modes, which is already kind of a thing for hard modes and normal modes, that they're looking at increasing the loot drops so that each boss drops a little bit more loot because you can't kill it 2 times. It wasn't really a case in Ulduar, but that might mean we're even going to get more loot if we kill the hard mode bosses. This is really exciting, mainly because the gear in Ulduar is going to be stronger, but also the entire raid itself is going to be so much harder. This also fully changes a lot of the gearing that we're going to see moving on into late game. And some of the pieces from hard mode Ulduar will now actually hold up even better in phase 3 because we will actually have better itemization or better stats on some pieces outside of just trinkets and a couple other niche things. So we're going to see some really cool itemization, and a lot of classes are actually getting buffed because of this. This is actually helping a lot of the classes that scale really well become stronger earlier in the game, but also it's not necessarily making it easier for you because the Ulduar bosses in general are actually going to be challenging. At least that's the idea, for them to actually be challenging. I'm really excited for this. I think it's an amazing step forward in the right direction. I think it means that Blizzard is actively listening to the community on what we want and how we want to deal with Wrath of the Lich King. And that's always kind of a double-edged sword because there's a lot of people that are generally outspoken when they dislike something rather than more people being outspoken when they like something. So as cheesy as it is to say, try to let me know in the description what you think about this. What are some other changes you would like to see to Wrath of the Lich King? Because if we tell Blizzard that we really like this, they will go through with the changes. And then also if we suggest other things, it looks like they're actually paying attention to the community. So this is like really exciting on that front more than just these changes in itself. One last thing before I go, as I have now finished my 3rd Death Knight to level 70 and one of my Death Knights is fully geared and the other 2 are coming a little bit along in that track, I do want to kind of give back to the community. So at 30,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel, I've said this already, but we will be giving away a deluxe edition of the actual Wrath of the Lich King, giving yourself a level 70 boost, and even to step it up, we'll give away the legendary one, whichever one it's called, that gives you also the mount and a month of game time. So all you need to do is subscribe to the channel, and when we hit that goal, I'll release a video where you guys can comment on that video and I will randomly choose someone from the comments. So if you're excited about that, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you. And also, this is cheesy, I have to admit it, but I did do a sponsorship with Raid Shadow Legends on the Twitch channel. I just want to let you guys know about it here because they did agree to give away free limited edition Sarthe merch, free mugs, coffee mugs, and free hats with my new logo logo on it. It's the first merch with the new logo on it whenever you hit level 25. So I'll have a link to that in the description. I'm not like getting paid to put it in a YouTube video. I just literally wanted, if someone wants some of the free merch, you can just get it. All you need to do is get to level 25. You don't have to do it by any means whatsoever, guys. But I just thought it was a good way to give back because you don't actually have to spend any money and you can win yourself some free merch. You can choose between the hat or the coffee mug. That's all, guys. I'm gonna go for the weekend. Thank you guys so much for all of the support lately, and I'll see you all on the next one.